Hi everyone. First of all, sorry if you can hear the drip of the rain. I'm in a dormer bungalow, and so my roof space is what would be the attic in a two-story house, and my windows are slanted, so the rain, I love the sound, but the rain makes quite a noise. But anyway, today I thought I'd have a play with the Hurley stamping foam. I've not made anything with this yet. I've had a little play, but not been having great success with it. So I thought we'd have a go together and you'll get a true opinion of what I think of it. So the stamping foam actually is 3 inches wide by 4¼ inches deep. You get 4 pads in a packet and it is double-sided. Simon, I've watched a few of his videos and he sticks his stamping block to the stamping foam. So just with double-sided tape, I'm going to line that up and get that as square as I possibly can and pop that down. And I think this is just to give you a better grip. You can see the back. I've been having a play with this one, but this side is brand new, so we'll get a true view of what's going on. I thought I would first of all try this really pretty owl embossing folder. This is a Cuttlebug embossing folder which I've had for years, and I'm gonna try this on the deboss side. So you've got your emboss side where you can run your nail and there's a lip, and the deboss side is deboss. From what I can gather, you are supposed to heat this up for about 15 to 30 seconds, and I'm going to do this on the hottest setting. So we'll just do that a minute. And then you take your block and you place it over whatever image you want to transfer to the foam. And you have got to give that a really hard press down and a little bit of a rock. And when we take up the foam, you can see that we've got this really pretty image that's embossed into the foam. I'm going to take in a piece of scrap cardstock, and for this image I thought I would like to do it in a brown, so I'm going to be using the frayed burlap in the distress oxides. Run your ink all over the pad, swipe it or do it in circular movements. I want to get right up to the edges. So that's that covered. And then you're to take a very fine mister spray, hold the foam away from you at arm's length and give that a couple of light mists with the water. I'm going to take in a bigger piece for this, and then pop your foam onto your cardstock and give that a really nice press down. Again, I would give that a tiny bit of a rock. And there's our stamped image. Now that looks quite distressed, so that's quite a nice image actually. I'm quite pleased with that one. And then the nice thing about the foam is if you take a baby wipe, you can wipe the ink straight off of the pad. There we go. And then the beauty of it is if you don't want to make any more of the same image, you just heat it up again and the image will disappear. And I like to do it on number 2 setting. And you can see now that the pad has gone back to its natural shape. You will see remnants of the print on the pad, but I think that's normal. So I'll pop that one to one side and let that one dry. I'm going to take in another embossing folder, and this time I'm going to do it on the embossed side. If you run your finger across, this is the embossed side of this folder, and see what that comes out like. So again, we need to heat this up for 30 seconds. You have got to work quite quickly with this. We're just going to press that onto the emboss side of the embossing folder and see what kind of image we get with that. So that is a deeper image, quite pretty. We'll see what that looks like when we ink that one up. So again, all over the foam, and I would even give mine a slight tap if it's the deboss side. And then again, with your water mister at arm's length, give that a couple of sprays. I'm going to use a smaller piece for this because I don't mind if it goes over the edge, and we're just going to stamp that down, give that a gentle rock, put some pressure down and lift that one up. So what happens when you use the embossed side is the image stays white and it just colours all the way around. That's quite pretty. So again, we can wipe this off, and we no longer want to keep this image, so we'll get rid of that one. Okay, so that one's back to its natural state. So now I thought I'd have a go with the leaves. So this is another Cuttlebug embossing folder. And I think I'm going to do this one on the, actually I might do this one on the embossed side as well, because I quite like the look of the one before. So we'll heat this one up again. And I'm going to put this on an angle and give that a really, really firm press down. Give it a rock. And then we've got this really pretty image of leaves. Let's go with Chipped Sapphire. And just run your ink all the way over the foam pad, around the edges, so that we get that nice square. Again, we need to spray that at an arm's length, a couple of mists. This one's a bit thin, but never mind. And press that down firmly, give it a few rocks. Oh, and then we've got this really pretty leaf image going on. So that's using embossing folders. Apparently you can use anything as long as you can get an impression from it. So now I thought we'd have a go with a stencil and see if we can get a print from something as thin as a stencil. I've got this really pretty music stencil. So if we heat this up again, now this is quite thin, so I think we are going to have to really press on this, give it a good rock back and forth, up and down. Oh yes, beautiful. So we've got this really beautiful image of music notes. So if we ink this one up, let's do this one in saltwater taffy and just ink this one up. Again, a few light spritz, water. Take this piece of scrap and we'll give that a really nice press down and a bit of a rock. Oh, now that is beautiful. So I'm getting some really interesting prints, but if I'm honest with you, I don't know what I do with them. Now, if you're somebody that does do a lot of printing with foam, then let me know what you would do with your images. I mean, this one, I could cut this one out and we could use that as a focal point on a card. That's quite pretty. I think for me, the problem is the pad is too small. If the pad was, I don't know, say a 5 by, or even a 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, at least you'd be able to get a good image to fill a background. But yeah, not too bad. It prints nice. So that's done with the debossed. That one was done with the embossed. That one was done with the debossed, and that one was done with a stencil. So we've had a play, and I might actually make a card with this one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little video. I hope you've learned something. And until the next time, bye for now.